Are you looking for some quick and easy weeknight meals? Well, then you've come to the right place. I have got 4 quick and easy meals to make for your family, so come on along. Let's get cooking. Hello, family and friends. I'm Susan, and welcome to my home. Are you ready for 4 more quick and easy weeknight meals? Well, you've definitely come to the right place. I have got 4 quick and easy meals that'll make your weeknights go a whole lot quicker and easier. So tonight we're going to be making some authentic Alfredo. Quick, easy, simple, and it tastes just like what we had in Italy. Oh, it's so good. So my ponytail is already up. Let's get to making some authentic Alfredo. Are you ready to make some authentic Alfredo sauce? And no, it does not contain milk or cream in it, which whenever we were in Italy, I realized that the sauces were a lot thinner and not as, creamy as they were here in the United States. So, in this one, we're going to have some grated Parmesan, some butter. I got these pappardelle instead of fettuccine. I thought they looked really good, the little nesting ones. They looked really awesome. Salt and pepper to taste, and I'm also just going to put some tenderloins on the plate. Quick, simple, easy. Y'all know I work a full-time job, and I come home and I want something quick. And this is going to be homemade and taste amazing. So let's get to boiling some noodles, and then we'll get ready to make the authentic Alfredo sauce. First thing I'm going to do is put the butter in the pan. I've already heated it up just a little bit so it can start melting down. I don't want it extremely hot, but I want it hot enough to melt all the butter in. I've already put 3 of the nest of pasta in the boiling water with lots of salt. So they're just basically sitting on standby until we get ready to merge the two. The butter is just about completely melted. I am going to pour over 3/4 of a cup of the grated Parmesan cheese. Now I know it looks like a lot, but it will melt down. It's funny how this does. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta in. I know that you're supposed to add some water in with it, but usually whenever I add my pasta, water happens to come over. It says to drain it good, and I never do. Now I do want to go ahead and add about a 1/2 cup of hot pasta water to it. That's about right. And that will help incorporate all of the rest of the Parmesan cheese on the noodles. So I'm going to let it sit here and simmer for just a little bit with the noodles in the pan until all of this Parmesan cheese kind of dissipates and melds in with all the water, which won't take long. Let me go ahead and let that happen. And this is what it looks like when it's completely done. Add a little bit more water if you need to. I like it this way, so let's get it plated up. And let me go ahead and get some of these noodles on the plate. I've got noodle stretches going on here. My goodness gracious. Okay. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. You can add a little bit more Parmesan cheese on top if you want to. I don't think we're going to need it. I'm going to go ahead and put some chicken tenders on the plate. Chicken tenders with some homemade authentic Alfredo. And that's what's for supper tonight. And you know on Tuesday we love our Mexican. Tonight we're going to be making something Mexican, but on the soup side. Some green chili chicken enchilada soup. Sounds amazing. Can't wait to try it. New recipe to us, but you know, I love finding great food out there. So come on, let's give it a try and see how good this green chili chicken enchilada soup really is. And let's get started on our green chili chicken enchilada soup. I've got some whole kernel corn. I've got some green chili peppers, some chili, onion powder, garlic powder ready to go, 2 cans of white beans, some chicken cut up into cubes, basically, a can of green chili chicken enchilada, green chili enchilada sauce, 4 cups of chicken broth, and 4 ounces of cream cheese that I have let soften and I've cut into cubes. So now it's ready for everything to just be put into the crock pot. And the first thing I'm going to go ahead and put in is the chicken itself. Go ahead and let that get on the bottom. And the next thing is probably going to be the green chili enchilada sauce, excuse me. Because I love this stuff. Oh, it is so good. I'm going to go ahead and put in the 2 cans of white beans. They're supposed to be drained and rinsed. I did the best I could while they were in the can. I didn't actually empty them out and do it. There we go. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and add the corn. 1 can of corn. And 1 can of green chilies in the can. All right. Now to all this, I'm going to go ahead and add in the 4 cups of chicken broth. And the teaspoon of chili powder, garlic powder, and onion powder. And last but not least, I'm going to put in the cubed up cream cheese. And I'm just going to go ahead and plop it in there real quick. And it has softened up. It's a little sticky on the fingers now. I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir to get everything incorporated. I've got this set on high, and I'm going to let this cook on high. It says for 2 to 3 hours. So this is definitely not something you could set before you go to work and then eat it when you get back. But if you wanted to make your own chicken, you could definitely put the chicken in the crock pot along with maybe the chicken bouillon, and go ahead and get that cubed up. And then all you had to do whenever you get home was add the rest of the ingredients. But it still needs to cook on high for at least 2 hours. So I'll bring you back whenever this gets done. And it's time to plate the soup. I'm going to put some tortillas in the bottom of Danny's bowl here. Because whenever you put the hot soup in there, it turns into almost noodle-like. Then I'm going to put some soup in. And here we go. The green chili chicken enchilada soup. And it's what's for supper tonight. I tell you what, I love Bojangles dirty rice. But whenever I found this next recipe, I thought, ooh, that sounds interesting. So it is called Cajun Dirty Orzo. I've never used orzo before, so this will be the first time using it. But I have made a version of dirty rice before that was pretty good. So I can't wait to try this one and see how it is. So let's get together. Let's see how this recipe pans out. It sounds amazing. I hope it is, because, oh, I love me some good Cajun. So come on, ponytail is up. Let's get to cooking. And let's get going on some Cajun Dirty Orzo. I've got some Cajun seasoning. I'm going to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that to make it the way I like it, because y'all know I love slap your mama. But I want to put a little bit of the Zatarain's in with it, so I'm going to mix the two. Got some garlic powder, some tomato paste, some garlic, minced garlic that is, some orzo pasta. I've got a little parsley, some olive oil, 3½ cups of beef broth, a little butter, little onion, and 2 bell peppers I'm going to cut up. And of course, some hamburger meat that I'm grounding up in the pan as we speak. So let's get going on getting this Cajun Dirty Orzo cooked up. And I have already browned up the beef in here. I've already removed it. I'm going to go ahead and add the tablespoon of butter and about a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and add in the peppers and onions. I'm going to do the peppers first because they take a little bit longer to cook. And I've got this over about a good medium-high heat. I'm going to go ahead and let this soften up. And I have let these bell peppers simmer down just a little bit. They are now a little bit juicier. I'm going to go ahead and add in the onion. Okay, this is sweating down really good. I'm going to go ahead and stir in the minced garlic and all the seasonings that I've got, which is the Creole seasoning, the garlic powder, the parsley. Let me go ahead and stir this around just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add back in the ground beef that I had. And I'm also going to add in the orzo so it can brown up just a little bit. You want it to get to the bottom of the pan so it can get a little brown texture on it. which is what I'm doing. Apparently you're supposed to put this in with it so it browns with it. I didn't read that far into the recipe, so I browned it beforehand, but it's all good. Go ahead and let that sit for just a minute. And I've let that saute for about a minute or so. I'm going to go ahead and add in the beef broth. And the tomato paste. All right. There we go. All that good flavor going on. A little bit of salt is going to go in next. Calls for about half a teaspoon. I'm just going to douse it in a little bit of salt. If I need to add some later, I always can. Now I'm going to let this cook on medium. Excuse me. I'm going to let this boil. So I'm going to turn it on high real quick. And once it boils, then I'm going to turn it on simmer and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. So let me go ahead and get this boiling. And then we'll turn it on simmer. And I'll bring you back whenever it's all done. Let this cook for about 15 minutes. And here is the Cajun Orzo. I did add a little sprinkle of Slap Your Mama on it because it wasn't spicy enough for me. But it tastes pretty good. Let's get it plated up. You could put it in a bowl. You could put it on a plate. You know Danny likes his on a plate. So that's what I'm doing. Give him a good little bit with a lot of meat in it. And there you go. Cajun Orzo. And it's what's for supper tonight. If you live in the South, you know one of the Southern staples is pinto beans. My grandmother always used to put them in the pressure cooker and pressure cook them. Well, I have figured out a way to put them in the crock pot, and you cook them all day while you're at work, and they are so good when you get home. Quick, simple, easy. You can't ask for much more, and you don't have to soak them overnight. I mean, I figured out a win-win on that one. So come on, let's get to making some pinto beans in the crock pot. And I'm also going to make some cornbread to go with it. Oh, that sounds so good. Let's get going. Okay, and it's Wednesday morning. We're going to do some quick pintos. You've seen me do them many times before. I've got 2 cups of pintos. I'm going to put in some ham, which I have a good little hunk of ham. I'm just going to go ahead and put in there from a ham that we had from either Easter or something like that. And then I'm going to add 8 cups of water. And there's 4. And here's the last 4. All right. And then the secret ingredient, Lowry seasoning salt. Y'all know I love this stuff, but it makes pintos taste so amazing. And I'm going to give it a very liberal sprinkling. There we go. Now, this is ready and set. I'm going to put it on high, not low, high, the whole time I'm going to work. I did not put my beans in water overnight. They have not done that. They are just straight out of the container and rinsed off, and then there they go. So, high all day, and you'll come back and you'll see beautiful pintos. And that Lowry seasoning will make them taste delicious. So, see you again whenever I get back from work. And I'm going to make some easy Southern cornbread. I just used the recipe that's on the Martha White hot rice, and it makes some really good cornbread. I don't have buttermilk, so I will be using regular milk with a little bit of vinegar in it. But other than that, I do have everything. So let's get to putting it together. And I have got the oven heating on 450. I'm going to go ahead and mix the ingredients up. I need 2 cups of Martha White cornmeal mix. Oh, that one everywhere. 1 egg. You put in 1 1/3 cup of milk or 1 1/2 cup of buttermilk. So I'm using just regular milk since I don't have any buttermilk. And it calls for 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. All I have is olive oil. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it because it is the extra light flavored olive oil. Hopefully it won't bring out too strong of a flavor in the cornbread. And I'm going to go ahead and whisk this together. And I have had, just like everybody else, some wins and some fails when it comes to cornbread. I've got the biscuits mastered, but the cornbread is still something that I don't always make the best on, but we'll see. Danny loves cornbread. And this is looking good. It's looking decently thick, not too thin, which is awesome. And I've got to wait till the oven gets to 450 so I can put my cast iron tray in. This is new, and I haven't used it but twice before. I sprayed it down and I've wiped all the excess spray out because I'm going to put this in the oven, let it get hot, bring it out. And then I have a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of Crisco in here, and that will go in the bottom of it while it's hot, and then I'll pour the batter in, and then I'll put it back in the oven to bake. So I'll let you see how this one goes. Hopefully this goes really well. The last time I used it, I did not spray it first and had a little trouble getting them out. So hopefully this will go better. So let me get the 450 going on and we'll bring you back. And I put this in the oven. It seems to be really hot right now. Go ahead and put a spoonful of the oil butter mixture in the bottom. Like I said, I've already sprayed these because last time I used them I had trouble getting it out. I don't want that trouble again. These are so freaking cute. I want to use them though. I'm trying to figure out what size spoon I need to put in here. I think I've got just a ladle, and I think that's going to be about the right amount because it's going to expand when it cooks. Yeah, I'm not a neat cook, but you know, doesn't matter if I'm neat or not. As long as it tastes good, that's all that matters. Okay, almost to the top, but not all the way to the top, as you can see. As it cooks, it's going to come up. It's normally supposed to do 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to do probably 10 and look at it, because it's a lot thinner than a normal cornbread pan. So let me go ahead and get this in the oven, and I'll come back when it's all done. And they are out of the oven. Let's see how easily I can get them out of this container. And I hope it's easy because it wasn't last time. Look at it. Look, 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 look. Well, I didn't get quite the end that I wanted, but still, it is adorable. Well, we had some wins and losses on this one. That one is a loss, but the rest of them don't look bad. I'm going to put some butter on them, and then it'll be ready to eat. I'm going to put some salt on them, some pepper on them. I'm going to get some pickled okra out on the plate. Usually Danny does about 3. I'm going to give him 2 of the beautiful, nice rustic ears of corn, and then a little bit of onion on the side. He can put them in his Pintos or not. Either way, it's all good. And there you go. Pintos, cornbread, pickled okra, and onions. It's what's for supper tonight. I love a week with good food, and make it quick and easy so I don't have to spend a ton of time in the kitchen when I get home is also a good thing too. So I hope you enjoyed this week's 4 recipes. They were all so amazing. And if this is your first time joining in, don't forget to press that subscribe button and subscribe. And you know, if you saw a recipe that you really liked, you can share it to yourself or share it to friends. That way they can make it too. So until next week, have a great week. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't already subscribed, press that button down below and subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun. And let our family be a part of your family.